Good morning, Kabroda crew. Welcome back for Wednesday today. Yeah, thank y'all for joining us. Had a nice little up move yesterday night. Had some pretty big news come out. Just not really about crypto, but just big news. Trump was speaking last night, and I guess it just caused the markets to run up a little bit. Quite a bit more than we expected, but it was a good run up and it got us into some good looking levels. So yeah, we're excited to kind of check that out as we jump in here. Yeah, no BTC moves yesterday, just because we didn't actually have it set up. If you were looking at ETH, there was technically a down trade. It didn't work out too great. I don't even think it went. It might have hit target one actually. I believe target one was right around here. So I think we hit target one, and then we kind of went up and broke out to the upside. You could have jumped in there, and then you could have rode Ethereum up as well, all the way up to around 2,250 or so. So yeah, not a bad little run for pretty much all of the coins. But definitely unexpected. So yeah, we're gonna have to jump in today though and see what we can kind of jump into, see if there's anything set up. If you guys were on early, I didn't realize I didn't have the right settings clicked, so you could have seen my screen. I kind of already was looking at it for today, but looking at it for that, there definitely was some possibilities today for a run up, so we'll see what happens. Technically there's a possibility for the run down to a little bit overextended, definitely overextended. So I guess there's that possibility there, but will it actually happen is probably not that likely. So yeah, we'll jump into it though, get it all set up. But first we want to say hi to everybody. So welcome Spirit Maker, welcome Kathleen, welcome Terry. Thank y'all for joining us. Thanks for coming to the live and yeah, checking us out again. Yeah, hopefully today we'll get a little bit better trading. Yeah, like I said, just looking at it beforehand, BTC has a decent trade. The question for us is more of how overextended are we? Are we too overextended to take the trade? Or are we looking pretty good? Looking here at the 1 hour, we're kind of coming off of that run yesterday, and we're kind of trading sideways a little bit. So there's a possibility we could get a curl here and see a little bit more price action to the upside, just based off of the Joule indicator, which is Meta Signals indicator. If you guys want to check them out, you'll have to just look them up. We're not affiliated by them or anything. It's just a good indicator that we're looking at using with our system, kind of mixing the two, trying to make something a little better than both of them. But we'll see. Yeah, so just reading that though, that's kind of what we're looking like. Heading back down to our normal time frame on the 15 here, you can see we're already getting our predator candle set up. We got about another 10 minutes on that or so, and we did just kind of make a double top here on the 15, or pretty close to a double top at least. And we're definitely looking pretty topped out here on the Joule as well. So we'll see what happens there. There could be a little bit of a pullback, a break back out through the top side and get us that close and entry, and then we'll take off to the upside. Or it could be a pretty sideways day, we'll just have to play it by ear, see what happens. There's not, as far as the systems go, there's no downside calls, so you don't have to worry too much about going down. Not to say that it couldn't fire down. I mean, obviously we didn't have a trade up yesterday and it fired off, so there's definitely a possibility of trading back down, but more than likely we'll get that trade up, so we'll see what happens there with that. But yeah, let's jump into it. Let's head on over to Kabroda.com here, and this is our levels for today. So you can see we got a 0.81 here on BTC. That's our long. It is the favored move for today. So our macro and micro trends are both bullish here. So that makes the long favored for today. It is a magnet as well, so technically we're just looking for a trade here to the daily resistance, which we pretty much already hit. So, and honestly, there's a possibility we could run past that, you know, if it does start to fire. No trades on Ethereum, no trades on Sol. BTC short is way too large of a gap, so we're not looking at that one. Same with the Ethereum gap here on the downside. And then Sol is pretty similar on the gap. The only thing is Sol is technically more, it just does better moves when the gap's larger like that. And so there is a possibility, I guess, of a downside here on Sol with a little bit of a short there, short jailbreak trade. So, you know, it's kind of all over. We'll see where we end up going today. But right now the favorite trade is that BTC long, so we'll have to check that one out first. We'll just grab our data here and head back to our main screen, trading view here, and we'll go ahead and throw our levels into our thing. Like I said before, if you guys have the older version of our indicator here, it'll look more like the one on Sol here, where you just have that one box there. And you can go ahead and do the same thing I just did. You just select in there. You can either right click and say select all, or you can click Control A, and then you press either Control V or press paste after right clicking, and that'll just throw your new levels in there, so you can have your charts all set up nice and cleanly. Yeah, we can throw some basic TA on this. So we got that run up. Now we're seeing a little bit of a flag out here, somewhat of a flag out. There's a possibility that we just double topped here on the 15-minute, like I was saying. How likely is that? Just based off of the current trend, I would say it's decently likely. But it is only the 15, so there's a possibility we just come back down into our range here and then kind of trade sideways for a minute, and then break back up a little later in the day. Yeah, so we'll definitely have to kind of keep an eye on the up trade there. As terms of the range goes, we can go ahead and check our range and see how the move is actually faring. So we got our 5% line right here, our 50% line, and right now we're kind of staying above it the entire time, so that's a good thing. A little bit of breakdown here, but overall majority of the time we've been above that 50% line, which is a good sign that we're going to continue to the upside. Not to say that we couldn't continue to the downside, but they're definitely a decent sign we'll continue the upside and break and continue up there. We do want to see 3 candle closes above this line technically, if you're going to use this idea, I guess. Our system typically kind of front runs it because we've seen that this range that we have set up here is typically one that you'll see kind of fire off most of the time after you get that breakthrough, specifically after that 845 candle. Right now we are still waiting on the 845 candle. We got about 5 more minutes or so, 8:30 to 845 candle, I guess I should say. So we got another 5 minutes or so before that closes, and then we'll get a nice set of predator lines, and we'll kind of get to see where price action is kind of firing here, and we'll be ready to go after that. So just be waiting. In terms of targets, they're all kind of on here, but we're going to go ahead and grab our trade from the actual Kabroda website. So we'll head back over here, open up our cockpit, grab the trade key, and then head back to our charts and paste it into our mission plotter here. And this is what we're looking at. I believe the indicator is called something a little bit different on the typical things. Might be bias tracker if you're in there. Actually, I don't even know. I don't remember if we've actually released this or not, but regardless, it should be in there somewhere. Or you can just go ahead and screenshot these levels and throw them on your chart as well. That will work. You can see our lines are pretty accurate here. So we got target 1 here at 73,026. We got target 2 at 73,5526, and then target 3 at 74,152. Above that, there's a target 5 at 75,831, and then there's target 6 to 7 as well. Or no, 1, 2, 3, or just target 6, I guess. Yeah, but we are definitely gonna have to wait for this trade to kind of play out and see how it sets up. It could be a little bit here, just kind of waiting around, seeing what happens. Technically, Shirtmaker's asking if this fires, you're looking for a target 2. Typically, whenever you so it hasn't been working lately because the market's kind of been sideways trash, not very good. But typically when you see a range like this fire out, you're looking for a target of the gap between the lines. So if we go ahead and draw our gap between the lines here, so just draw a line from top to bottom and take that line and put it on top here. That's what we're looking for. So the way that we actually have the target 2 figured out, it's actually pretty much always going to be the same distance as the gap between the lines. So typically you'll see the price action run to pull when the market is doing really just decent. Like, it doesn't have to be like great market, it just has to be a decent market. And lately we have not even had that. So it hasn't happened lately. You've seen a lot more target 1 hits than target 2, but typically in the trade you'll see it fire to target 2. So yes, that is the one we typically would target. No matter what in this trade today, if we do end up being able to get in, we'll be watching for this daily resistance here, the dashed red line. That's definitely an area where it could see some rejection. I mean, you've seen it already reject twice here, so once here and then twice here, right there where we came up and hit it and then rejected right off of it, and now we're kind of coming back down into the range. So definitely an area you want to watch as we're kind of climbing. You want to make sure that it's going to actually continue and break through that, and you're not going to see some kind of resistance or possible pullback from that level. As of right now, we just don't have any trades or anything set up here. So that's what we'll be looking for. That's what I'd be targeting is 2. I would just be mindful that you could have to get out pretty decently early here at the red dashed line. If we were to jump into this trade when it sets up, obviously can make about almost 3-to-1 here on target 2. If you do end up having to pull it down here near the dashed line, you'd be looking at about a 1-to-1. So still not bad either way. I guess if you wanted to take a cheap, easy little trade, you could just take it here at the resistance, because that's what we're more than likely going to hit today if we do end up breaking to the upside again. So yeah, that'd be a good little trade there. Still got another 30 second, almost 50 seconds now until the candle closes, and then we'll see what happens here on the next one. Like I said, things are looking pretty good for the upside move. We're definitely going to want to see if we're looking at just the jewel, we're going to want to see the jewel kind of come back down a little bit before we fire off. Typically that's what you want to see when you're looking at the jewel firing. Like I said, the 1 hour is looking to be in a pretty decent spot if it was gonna kind of flip here and fire out. We want to see it kind of hold this EMA right here. So this orange EMA I have is actually the 9 EMA, and whenever you see trades fire out of it, you want to see it kind of hold that line. Obviously, it's going to be a little faster. You definitely want to hold this 21, but you want to hold that 9 to see it's pretty strong continuation. Whenever we're kind of above this line is when you're going to see that run. And then if we drop below it during the move, that's when you're going to see a little bit of slowdown and possibly even a breakdown, as you saw like right here. But I mean, it doesn't always happen. Like obviously here's another scenario here. You got the breakout here. Typically you're looking when it crosses once you break above, and then it was holding, and then broke down below the 9 there, touched the 21, bounced off of it, and then once we got back above that 9, we kind of exploded back up again, came back down, and then broke down through it, started to break back up, and then ended up continuing to the downside. So, you know, it's not always that you just break it and it goes down, but typically you want to see it to kind of hold, or at least if we're going to break below it, we'll want to see it test this 21 and bounce off of it to continue up. You know, we can't really take it off of that. The system says we need to wait for the close above here on the 15 minutes, so that's what we're waiting for. Obviously, we're not going to just jump into it earlier. Streamer says it looks like it's topping. Yeah, I would definitely agree. It's getting... We had a major move up, you know, yesterday. There's definitely a possibility of an up move. If you did get the up move, though, it'd be more of you're kind of, you know, chopping a little bit off the top kind of thing. You're not really getting a decent, like, another up trade. There's a possibility, you know, it could run today, I guess, but overall, we're definitely thinking if the trade does end up happening today, it'll be a quick, you know, kind of take your money and run kind of day, because we did already move up yesterday, and then today it's more of, yeah, the secondary move. Really, price action kind of needs to cool off a little bit today. Yeah, we need a cool off day. We need all of the stuff to kind of reset, the indicators to kind of come back down and show, yeah, just a little bit of reset so we can get everything kind of ready to fire back again the next day or day after or whatever it is. And yeah, we haven't got that yet. So if we do end up firing today, I guess great for our trading day, not so great for showing what's going to happen, because typically when you see that, you'll see some divergence form, and then that'll kind of be the top, and it will be telling us, hey, we're going to break down here. Speaking of divergence, we can open up our RSI here and check it out. We do have, really, we don't actually have divergence here on the upside, so that's a good sign there. If we look at our other indicators, they were telling us we were topping a little bit ago, so we'll see if we can get those to kind of come back down a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely, if it is going to happen, we're going to have to kind of sit around here for a little bit. We kind of trade sideways and then fire. You're not going to want to see it just... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Strip Maker. You could see it run up and make a quick higher high. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking too. If we do break up here, what's more than likely going to happen is that you'll see it break up, and it could be soon, I guess. You'll get to close, blah, blah, blah. You'll get in. It'll be a quick move up. Maybe target 1, maybe target 2, whatever it is. We're going to break the previous high. So probably we'll break this high. And then we'll come up here somewhere, maybe up to target 2. And then we'll see the dump off after that. And that'll tell you, hey, we're topped. Like, that was the end of the move. We're done. We're not going to continue anymore. So, I I was kind of thinking this morning that there's a possibility that this was that move right here, actually, when we started to fire before the predator candle started, but we didn't get high enough, and just based off of what we're kind of looking at, it didn't really tell you that that was the end of it. So, you know, there's still more to go. Sweetmaker is saying that this zone here on the jewel is telling us that we're probably going to break up here pretty soon. Definitely a possibility. Ooh, excuse me. Must be tired today. We went and watched the new Super Mario movie last night. It's pretty good. Pretty good for a Mario movie, I guess. Wasn't anything like insane, I guess, but it was not a bad movie. Pretty funny. But yeah, not a bad thing to go watch if you're looking for a theater movie to watch, I guess. It's nice here. We have a Cinemark and they do $5 movies on Tuesday, so it's always the best day to go. Well, it's $5 if you can get the normal seats, I guess. But if you get like the fancy seats, you actually have to pay. I think it's like $10 for those ones, which I don't know how much they are normally, so maybe that's a good deal too. But we just, it's alright if we just sit in the regular seats, not anything crazy. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if we get this breakup here. There's definitely the possibility of it. We're just gonna have to see it kind of come back up and, you know, tell us that it needs to get in. Really, we need to break our entry line there, our breakout line, and then green right here. We need to come up, break through it, get a close above on the 15-minute, and then that'll tell us that it's time to jump in. Yeah, I don't know. We could be waiting for this 15 to kind of come down and show us that. I don't know, maybe show us that it's gonna kind of come down and reset a little bit and then fire off. But that could be a little bit if that's going to happen. When we could be waiting a while. And the hour could reset too if that's going to happen. That actually, honestly, would make it a better move if it's going to do that. Oh, man. 1 hour is not looking too good here. If we go out to the 1 hour, we do actually have some major divergence here telling us that's kind of the top there. Yeah, that's not looking too good here on the 1 hour. Kind of called the top here. We're looking at this kind of being the double top sort of thing, and then you got your divergence forming on the RSI. So you got an uptrend here, downtrend here on the RSI. That means we got some reversal divergence here, or irregular divergence if you want to call it that. Yeah, not looking too good for the continuation to the upside. Yeah, I'm actually starting to think that the upside trade might not be too great of an idea today. You know, it's there, it's a possibility. I guess if you were just taking the system, you don't care about any other TA, then still you'll want to take it, I guess, if it goes up there and closes. But the possibility of it coming up and closing there is honestly not that high right now, just based off of what I'm kind of seeing here on the market. Excuse me. It's not looking good. We're looking like we're about to break down here, break through that bottom line and continue down, have a down run today. Technically, if we got the down run with the system, even though it's way overextended here on the gap, you would come down to this daily support here. Now, would we do that? No, I don't think we'll do that. Honestly, yeah, let's get a bigger time frame here. Honestly, what I'm thinking more of, 1 minute chart trying to show a bottom. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we show more of a kind of flag here. It all depends on how price action kind of plays out, but maybe we'll flag something like this. Or something maybe a little more extreme, something more like that. You know, just kind of a nice flag bounce around in here, kind of come down in here, and then we'll fire off. There's a possibility there for that. I don't know, we could come down and test the 69,000 level. Could come down and test that 70,000 level, honestly. That wouldn't be too crazy. That's kind of the level we've been fighting for a while. If you guys have been watching our channel, we've been talking about that 70,000 level for a while. And that's because of this right here. If you look at our flip line here, that 70,500, 70,000 level, that's right where all price action's kind of been floating around lately. So we broke down through it in the end or beginning of February, and then since then we've kind of been you know, running into it, bouncing down, running through it, and then, you know, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Haven't really been able to clear it. Honestly, we got that breakup yesterday. If you wanted a nice clean trade idea, you'd want to kind of come down, or a nice clean resistance flip, I guess you could say. You want to come down and see that retest there. Honestly, wouldn't hurt, I guess, to also continue for a candle or two and then retest. But if we see that candle retest there, that would be not a bad sign. And there's definitely a possibility there. So that's definitely a level that we'll have to be watching today if we are looking at a pullback. So in other words, I don't think it will come down all the way down to here. There's definitely a possibility that you could come down to this level at 67,600 ish, where the daily support is. There's a possibility. Will we actually come down that far? I'm not thinking really that we will. Again, it's a possibility. It's just not a very enticing idea there. TA wise, we're definitely looking like we'll just pull back a little bit, maybe set a little bit nicer of some sort of flag here on the longer time frames, kind of set us up for a move possibly tomorrow. You know, who knows? Nobody can really predict the market. We're just trading probability, but there's definitely low probability right now that we're going to get that up trade and actually come up to target 2 if we do get the up trade. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be a little bit before we're able to decide kind of what happens here. It's just going to be more or less sideways day. If we do start to break down, I don't think we're probably going to break down that hard. And then again, if we are going to get that uptrade today, I would honestly like to see a lot of the indicators kind of reset, like our jewel here that we've been talking about. I'd like to see it kind of come down and reset down here around this fib level here at 0.3 or 38. Same with the hour. I think if the 15 does that, I think it'll be pretty close to doing that as well. But who knows? We'll have to just watch that one. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. That's kind of what I'm seeing in the TA. Maybe y'all are seeing something different, or maybe it's the same. I don't know. Y'all have to let me know in the comments what you think. You think Bitcoin's gonna go up, or you think we're gonna do a little retest today and then maybe up tomorrow? Or do you think, we're just going to break down here and continue down? Maybe this was just a false break to the upside and we're going to go full crypto winter kind of thing after a minute. So, or after a couple days or so. Yeah, you'll have to let me know though what y'all think. That's kind of what I'm seeing though. Possible move up today. But there's also a possibility we just kind of sit stagnant most of the day. If we do get to move up, it's going to be a quick move. You're going to want to just jump out pretty close to like first sign of distress, obviously if you just see a red candle, it doesn't mean jump out, but you watch your indicators, watch price action. Typically you'll see a pretty decent spike before you'll see the crash. If you want to look at the example right here on this candle, you're kind of climbing, and then this candle we did a nice big spike, came up here, a lot of volatility, hits the resistance, started to break down. You could just jump out anywhere in that candle because you can just see the volatility kind of come in. If we went down to 1 minute, I bet you'd see it on there. Yeah, you can see these 3 candles, massive volatility kind of came in. 5 minutes, same way, I'm sure. Yep, massive volatility. You kind of saw volatility either way. It gave you 3 different candles you could get out on. So, yeah, overall, that's what we're kind of looking for if we do get that. If we get that trade to the upside. But if we never get that trade sideways, then more than likely, yeah, we're going to get a little bit more of a breakdown, and then we'll kind of be just watching it as it trades down sideways, and we'll jump back in tomorrow and see what we got. But yeah, could be a little bit today, so just a lot of waiting around. We're definitely above the level that we want to be above, so if we can hold this and continue up, we're looking at a possible decent moves coming for Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens here as we continue on. That's really it though from me, so thank y'all for joining and watching. We don't have a video coming out here at 10. Unfortunately, our audio got corrupted the other last night, so we weren't able to post it, but we should have one coming out tomorrow. So yeah, just be ready for that. Again, we'll be live here 8:30 a.m. CST on tomorrow, ready to jump back in, see what kind of stuff we got for tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm kind of hoping we get a little bit more of that trade down today and kind of set up for tomorrow. Obviously, I'd like to get the trade up today too, but I'd rather it set up for good times to come rather than set up for a little bit of money today. So yeah, we'll just have to watch, wait and see. It's not really a no trade at all, no possibility day, but it is a pretty low possibility day, I would say. And if there is the possibility that is there, it's just not too great. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see, yeah, how it plays out, how everything works out. So, yeah, just stay tuned. Keep your charts up. See what happens. Make sure you throw our trade on there if you guys are interested in kind of following along with us. Throw our lines on there if you guys are interested in that as well. That way you can kind of keep track with us. You know, maybe keep us in line if you're worried that we're switching it up tomorrow when we come back and talk about the live. So yeah, that's what we're looking at though. So thank you all for watching. Yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe if you guys like our content. Hit the likes. Really helps our channel grow, helps us reach some more people. Hit that bell notification if you guys want to make sure you catch us in the days to come for the live stream. So yeah, happy trading to y'all, and we will catch y'all next time. Bye.